What's good? Um, yeah, I'm here. Recording another one. Today's topic, at least I think it'd be a good day to cover the topic of romance. You would think I would do something editing wise on this wall, but I'm not going to. I don't feel like doing that. But yeah, romance. That's the topic of the day. I saw something really cool yesterday. I was reading an article, and the article was talking about romance and stuff, and I was like, yada yada yada. But yeah, so I was reading an article and the article had it was a really cool. It was like it was not like one of those like preppy think pieces. It wasn't like from like a prestigious academy or anything. It wasn't like a oh, the scientific definition of romance is actually the integral of love multiplied by. It wasn't on none of that. It was like a very down to earth view of romance, and I really enjoyed reading it. It had like a quote from like a movie character. I don't know what the movie was or anything, but it was like romance essentially is about the possibilities. Or no. It was romance is the possibility of the thing. So it wasn't like it's not the thing itself, it's the possibility that it could be a thing. I thought that was cool. I thought it was very nice. I thought it was very telling. I don't know. Because at least with me, romantically, I've always thought like okay, here's the thing. I've always had a bad definition of romance. I've never really had a good but let me reset. I've always had a bad definition of romance, but a good definition of love. Um, I like to define love as essentially not only the understanding of a person, like you should try to understand them as individuals, but then applying that understanding. And then I've always thought that because you can never fully know a person, because people are always growing and changing, and then also they like you forget bits and pieces of yourself like as you grow up, like as you grow, you don't remember like everything you did when you were a kid. So like you'll never truly even though those things still affect you, you don't really remember them. So like I guess you can't tell the person this about you and that's why you do it, but that's still a part of you. And I feel like when you're trying to love somebody, there are going to be those little tidbits that like stick to the woodwork, so you'll never fully know them. But I think that's the good thing about love, where it's like you're still trying, you're still vying to find out who they are as a person. But romance has never been like the easiest thing for me. Love's been the easier part of it because of the definition. That was a definition I made like 2 years ago, to be honest. But love's been the easier part. Romance has always been the hard part because I always feel like like I'm there with somebody, I like them, and then they end up like going, and it's like, what's the problem? Is it because? And so I think love isn't the issue. I think it's romance, and I think that romance being the possibility of being the thing is probably the better thing. Because I'm a spontaneous person. I'm not like a linear person. The problem is my spontaneity doesn't really aid me in the case of romance because of the fact of I tend to do a bunch of random shit, which would be good in romance because it's like, oh, you do a bunch of random shit for your partner, but it's not specifically for them. It's kind of just random shit in general. And so there will be times where I go like last situation I was in, I didn't do shit for months. Actually, last situation I was in, I didn't do shit for months. I didn't do squats. Like I get to a place where I'm comfortable, and I'm like, oh, I can do more random shit. And so I just start doing random shit, and sometimes that random shit doesn't have to do with them as often as it should be. And so I go through periods of time where I do months of nothing, and I have this person liking me, and I do not months of nothing. It's a little insane, bro. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little crazy, bro. But yeah, I think hearing that romance could be the possibility of a thing actually helped me a lot because now I'm like, oh, romance is spontaneous. It's just supposed to be anything. It can be anything. It can be everything and it can be anything. And I think that makes me a lot more comfortable, I think, expressing romantic feelings from now on. And also something also really cool that I want to think about. It was like, oh, romance doesn't have to be partner wise. It can be friend wise. It can be family wise. It is just simply doing. It is the possibility of the thing, the possibility that they'll enjoy the thing, the possibility that they can like the thing. And I think that's a great thing for at least me to know, because at least then I can start doing these for people, and I don't have to feel that it's like there's no more. Let me say it like this: there's no more of a burden on me to do it like specifically for my partner, if that makes sense. I can just do it for anybody and like everybody, you know. And I think that makes me happy. As a very spontaneous person, that makes me very, very happy, you know. Makes me glad. Um, but yeah, actually, I might as well tell a little story while I'm here. I am a serial ghoster. I'm a serial ghoster. Like, it gets bad. It gets really tragic really fast. I am a very, very, very bad ghoster. It's really terrible. It's really terrible how I be ghosting people. Like, I'll sit there. And it's not in person. Like, I don't avoid them. Like, if I see them in person, I'll talk to them, yada, yada. But once I get online, specifically like summer months, even my friends, bro, I go no contact, bro. And it's not even like, oh, I don't want to reach out. It's like I do, but like I just don't. Uh, I don't want to. But I think with this new definition of like romance and like things, I think I will have. I think it will give me the strength to realize that, hey, there's a possibility of it becoming a thing if I do decide, when I do decide to reach out to a friend for a hangout. There's a possibility it can become a thing, and I think that's enough. I think for now that will be enough for me to satiate. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about: romance and the possibility of being a thing. Being goodbye.